Yeah, man, this is Danny Dreadlock telling you, say, the time has come for the lion story to be heard, you know? Here, there, and everywhere. Have no fear. The lion story. And this is the lion voice. Seeing production every time.
Yeah, I'm a Gideon. Cataclysmic forces, good over evil. Yeah, for the ghetto youth.
And this brings us to the topic of tonight's discussion, which is Leonard P. Howell Foundation is one of the founding members of the Rastafari Mansion and organization. So take us through, why Leonard P. Howell Foundation, which, in its own right has been doing works, is now coming together with other Rastafari mansions and organizations in this hour. Just kind of give us a synopsis and we'll reason it out.
I would give you a very frank synopsis. In truth and in fact, we had originally enlisted with a previous umbrella group in Jamaica known as the Rastafari Millennium Council.
Yes.
But then what was, I would say, a great idea and a great initiative, which started in 2007,
yes.
This just simply imploded.
Yes.
Because of, various personality issues on the inside, personality conflicts. It imploded and it didn't work. And as far as the LPH Foundation is concerned, we were misrepresented by them. So there was no benefit for us coming under that particular umbrella. So we decided to leave. We basically left them, and now with a new umbrella group about to be formed and formulated, this just definitely, my perspective was that this is a much better bet. This is looking more sound than the previous one. And we also see the benefit, we recognize the benefit of greater strength in numbers and greater strength in unity with other Rastafari organizations, because what we have, there's a uniqueness, the Rastafari movement, and it consists of several houses and mansions, right? We know, at least internally, we know it's not a homogeneous movement.
No.
Having said that, it is possible to have unity without uniformity. Yes. And that unity under an umbrella group brings coherence to representations to the movement as a whole. It brings greater potential resources. It brings a louder voice to the table. So it makes perfect sense to be part of an umbrella organization, so long as that organization works as it's supposed to. Yes.
And can you name some of the organizations that are a part of this unity?
Absolutely. We have very notably the EABIC, that is the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress.
And that's historic because they were not a part of the
they weren't part of that first umbrella group. So this is the first time they've joined an umbrella group. So it is very historic. There's certainly Rastafari. We also, of course, have the Rastafari Coral Gardens Benevolent Society, otherwise known as the RCGBS.
Yes.
We have ARC, the Association of Rastafari Creatives.
Big up ARC.
We have Starscape. We have Sugarloaf. We have Canacure. We have the Rastafari Indigenous Village. And we also have Empress of Zion, I understand, has just joined or on the verge of joining us.
Yes,
and we have Root House, we have House of Seba, House of Dread, and we have Peacemakers Association, and we have School of Vision, and then we had LPH Foundation to that. So we have a great representation there in terms of the Rastafari organizations and mansions.
And I understand that the RMO has extended observer status to the Nyabingi House and the 12 Tribe of Israel, that there's an open invitation.
Absolutely, yes. They have observer status.
And I want to be very transparent, family. I have been a part of this process very intimately, so I know all of the information. Dr. Barnett is the PR officer, but I'm also familiar with all of the information. So I'm gonna let him do his work, but I'm gonna chime in as well because this is very historic. I've been teasing my audience that work is happening behind the scenes within Rastafari that I would love to share with them. So this is a very big moment for this platform because we are finally able to share, and we want to make it very clear that the RMO is going to grow. We're starting with these organizations, but this is not a closed gate policy. We have to start somewhere, but there will be a process, and there will be the ability for other mansions and organizations on the ground to grow. But I want you to just, let the people know in terms of RMO, what makes the RMO so necessary at this time.
Well, as I said, the Rastafari are in truth still stigmatized in Jamaica. It's not. We can't say we've arrived and everything is splendorous and so forth. So, and we need a strong voice coming from the Rastafari community to certainly to explicate or at least articulate the wants, needs, desires, and the any contentions that we have, and we do have a few. We still see that Rastafari is stigmatized in the schools. Locks is still a resistance to one's children wearing their locks at schools. We can't sit back and say everything is peachy keen
Yeah.
and splendicious.
And a
It's
lot
not.
of a lot of my listeners are going to be shocked, Dr. Barnett. I have a lot of viewership in Africa,
Yeah.
around the world, and they're going to be shocked to know that Jamaica, that was the launching pad for Rastafari culture. That discrimination happened. People think that Jamaica's a Rastafari paradise.
Well,
So
it's not. This is the starting place, but it's Rastafari still have to fight for certain rights and for a certain degree of recognition. Even the sacramental rights, as you know, Rasquazi, we're
yes,
still trying to is enforce really the sacramental rights that we've been granted. So there's still we still need that degree of acknowledgement, so far as the, if you want to call them religious sacramental rights, still have to be acknowledged by all of the powers that be, such that Rastafari are not harassed if they happen to have more than 2 ounces, which are allowed the regular citizen of herb with them when they're traveling. Rastafari are not harassed if they choose to grow more than 5 plants of ganja in their land or any acreage they may own and so forth. So while we're laying that out, that's not the only thing, though. We still in Jamaica have cases for internal reparations that have not been resolved.
okay,
The Coral Gardens atrocity, let me say, has been acknowledged and has been addressed by the Jamaican government. Want to
okay,
acknowledge that. But then we also have the issue of Pinnacle. We have Howlites still alive who were
yes,
evicted along with Leonard Hull in the late 50s from Pinnacle. They're still alive and they still
very critical.
can remember that. They're traumatized. And certainly I can speak for his two oldest children, which is Monty and Billy Howe. Monty was 17 when he was evicted, and Billy was like 16.
Wow.
And, Monty especially is very much traumatized from that. In fact, both of them, and if you interview them and tell it, they left Jamaica soon after
Yes,
because they
yes.
just felt they
I've
were
met
stuck.
them, but I'm gonna need the guy to set up the interview. We need them on the Lion Talk.
Uh-huh.
I've met them in person, but we definitely wanna
Yeah.
interview them. And we have Bakawal also as a track.
Akawal, thank you.
Yes,
1966. The
yes,
dwellings, Rastafari dwellings, were bulldozed down unceremoniously. There was no forewarning. There's been no compensation. Listen, you
yes,
lose
yes,
your not just your dwellings, but all your personal belongings, and no compensation given to any of the Rastafari who were resident in Bakawal. Room was made for Tivoli Gardens,
yes.
but the Rastafari weren't considered a priority in the scheme of things. So what can I say? So all of this has been unaddressed, and the RMO is a vehicle that can bring this readily to the table.
And I think that's crucial to get across, because without an entity that can speak with one voice for Rastafari, then a lot of these things will never be addressed, because there's no one entity that can take on these initiatives. You spoke about the ganja, and we have some major news that has just come out with the ganja. That's going to be, I know there's going to be a presentation at the Rastafari Unity Day. We'll talk about that shortly on Sunday. There's going to be a Raga presentation, and Raga now will be become a committee of the RMO, because Raga already consists of the membership of the RMO, and Raga is overlapping. So it's really a consolidation that's happening of the community. And as we said, there'll be other organizations that join. I saw some documentation. I won't bust the news here tonight, that came down from Ministry of Justice, but I know that will be a topic at the launch. So we're saying to the Rastafari family, make sure they attend. Also, we have the intellectual property rights. I know that is something that, there's so much Rastafari IP that's out there, and there's no way to really address some of the abuses. So will RMO be tackling some of those things, and also creating IP in a positive way?
That's fantastic. Yes, and you've illuminated, some of the goals and the objectives of the IMO quite nicely. And
That's why I have to be transparent, Dr. Barnett,
yes,
because
yes,
I can't go on like I
absolutely.
don't know
Yeah.
what's happening,
But let
'cause-
I
yeah,
think we should just let the listeners hear about the Unity Day and
yes,
why they should be there and make it a point to be there.
yes, yes, please.
So on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 27th of August, for all those in Jamaica, we are proud to present a Rastafari Unity Day, which is really our launch, the formal launch event for the RMO. And this is happening from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the afternoon at the Peacemakers Association headquarters, which is located at Green Bottom, otherwise known as 19 Mile, in Clarendon, in the parish of Clarendon, right? And this is sort of a little bit beyond, well, those who know Clarendon well know that it's closer to Maypen than it is to Old Harbor. Let me just say that. But it's going to start 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. There will be music, cultural reggae vibes being provided by Breadlocks.
You got dreadlocks.
Yes, from iYard Radio. There will also be drumming presentations, special drumming presentation from the EABIC. We're going to have drumming from the Nyabingi Order. We're going to have drumming from School of Vision, and we're going to have drumming from the Peacemakers Association. So it'll be, very cultural, very vibrant. And then we'll have idle food, which I believe is free, right? The refreshments are
Yes,
free.
yes, yes. It's a
As far as-
celebration.
So, juices, idle food. And so we are inviting the ones and ones to come out and full joy themselves for a splendorous day, and enjoy the vibrations. And very important to learn more about the RMO, to learn more about its objectives, its mission, and get a first-hand, get to meet the movers and shakers of the IMO directly. and in person.
Very crucial, very crucial. And also there'll be a formal signing of
That's
the
right.
Constitution there. So it's a historic moment. And I would also add that August 27, 1975 was the last day that the emperor was seen in the recorded record of history. So I think it's very appropriate that this is a unification day, because after August 27, 1975, Haile Selassie now becomes within the hearts of man. He becomes the personality of every Rastafari brethren and sister. Becomes Rastafari. Bob Marley does the song Jah Live, and it resonates through the four corners of the earth. So having this day as Rastafari Unity Day, I think, and wasn't planned that way, it just fell on that day. So I think the cosmos has conspired to really set, and we don't want to use conspired, but live-spired or inspired I and I to really mark this day, to say that unseen forces, bring I and I together in this hour. There's a lot happening. We see Ethiopia just joined with BRICS nation, the BRIC coming out of the BRICS conference, the global chessboard is lining up. Will Rastafari be ready? And I think, we give thanks to see that Jamaica Rastafari is uniting, and that it's a start.
Yeah. I'm a Gideon. Cataclysmic forces. Good over evil. Yeah, for the ghetto youth. Worldwide. Yeah. I see the youths nowadays, they growing up. Wanna know the truth, they wanna know what's up. They got no fear now, they'll call you bluff. They asking questions cause they had enough. Why? Some gone astray cause times is tough. Some walk with the machine, ready to bust. I'ma give you when things get dangerous. Down in the ghetto, things get dangerous. On the battlefield, things get dangerous. Them carry RPG, M16. Got a problem to wipe out your whole team. For American dream, them get scandalous. Lost and put us into the ghetto, try abandon us. Cause we the remnant of the first sons of Kush. Warrior tribes, we not the ones to push. Just look into them history, see we rebellious. That's cause them systems so unjust. Take the shackles and chains, change them to handcuffs. Release your physical frame, them want your brain. Them a vampire looking for blood to drain. Haile Selassie come and break every chain. Bob Marley tell them, now we tell them again, yo. We tell them this ain't a game, but this a Armageddon, you got to mentally train. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, but this is heaven on earth, or go burn in the flames. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, I say you gotta play your hate cause some things gotta change. I tell them this ain't a game, but this a time for African people to rise. I tell them, earthquake, hurricane, tornado, the wind blows and bring the rains. I got the whole west coast in flames, melt the Arctic poles and flood the seas. Hurricane force winds blow down the trees. Whole earth feel the pain when the bombs release. Read your psalms, release David prophecies. Marcus Garvey said look to the east. Rastafari is the prince of peace, and Haile Selassie I come conquer the beast, yo. They trap the youths with them luxuries to get the ladies. Gotta drive Mercedes, people killing babies, try to keep us down with AIDS. We descended from kings, now we surround with plague. Man, I kill them brother man to drive the Escalades. I can't stand Babylon and all the mess they made. Teach the youths that them best when them rest in the grave. Wolf trick the lion, got the lion a shade. Can't reach Mount Zion unless you learn to behave. Got to stand firm cause these is perilous days. I tell them, we tell them this ain't a game, but this a Armageddon, you got to mentally train. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, but this is heaven on earth, or go burn in the flames. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, I say you gotta play your hate cause some things gotta change. I tell them this ain't a game, but this a time for African people to rise.